Welcome to the 7-Figure Builder channel, everything new construction and development. My name is Arthur. I have personally developed over 1,000 lots to date, but getting to where I am today, I had history and a story. Nothing happens overnight. And I was recently at an event, I spoke at this event, and I had somebody come up and share that they have a young 15-year-old son who's inspired by the car flipping and my story and what I've done so far today. So today I want to dive into that a little bit and share what steps I would take to get into the real estate game, especially if you're young and you're really intrigued and you want to get into the real estate game. So as a young 15-year-old, I bought my first car, and that car was a 2001 Golf. I paid $1,100, $1,000 to $1,100. I can't remember, it's been over 13 years, but ended up selling it. I remember I nearly doubled the profit. So I made about $1,000 on that car, and to me, that was my aha moment. The key here is I learned to hustle. And so as life goes on, it always starts with the hustle and eventually gets to the place of experience, and where your experience supersedes and you can get paid for that experience and ability. In the beginning, you have to learn what's your lane, what are you looking to accomplish? And so for me, it was cars because my dad was in the auto industry. I don't want you guys to be put in a small box. The whole point is do something that has no limit. So in my case, it was cars. If I could tell anyone and give them advice, get into the sales industry. Do a commission-only job where you can earn commissions. If you can only work summers, go work for a pest control company, go knock on doors and start working commission. I heard one kid reached out to me and said, oh, in the pest control company, I'm 17 years old and I've made $10,000 because he had ability, he was hungry, and he wanted to do it. And so that's my encouragement to you. I know somebody else that's flipping couches and they're making $7,000, $10,000 a month flipping couches. I recently did a YouTube video and I hung out with this gentleman from Seattle. He does home services where he knocks on their door, he pressure washes their driveway, he cleans their gutters, cleans their roofs. And he also is able to do that $5,000 to $10,000, $15,000 a month. So my inspiration, or what I'm trying to really push here, is remember, it's not about something specific. It's generally how can I start earning money and how can I literally beat time? And the only way to beat time is by either one, your sales skills, or if you have certain goals, like I can do $1,000 profit on a car, I can do $10,000 profit on a car. Obviously it's more rare, but then I scaled to the point where I said, well, if I'm selling a car and I make $1,000 to $3,000, or if you're flipping a couch or whatever you're doing, how can I turn that into a income where I'm not doing the work, but I'm leveraging and scaling and having somebody else do the work for me? And so in the auto industry, how I grew is I started out, flipped a couple cars, and I was really just became active in the hustle. And then I said, well, I can't do it all by myself. I started subbing things out. So I would get a paint shop, I would get a frame shop, and I would pay somebody per job to put the car together for me. And so there was these 3 different people involved, and I can go do 3 different cars and they're all doing it for me while I'm just finding the right deals and negotiating. And that's where I started scaling that company. If you're gonna be in the home service business, you go and you get a couple of friends where you pay them commission. Have them stop by houses while you're stopping by houses. Now you have double the jobs, double the work. You pay them a certain percentage of profit or pay them per job, whatever you guys agree to. And now you're starting to scale without you physically having to do the work. So the key summary here is don't go do something that's hourly. Do something where it's all about how much you do, and how much you produce or perform is how much you'll be awarded. Then you'll get to the place of how good you do it, the more you'll make, right? And so that's my encouragement to you guys. And that was my career with cars. After that, I started scaling. I built that business. I sold all the cars that I had, and then I went into my first real estate deal. My first real estate deal, all the effort I put into cars for 5, 7 years, I doubled that 5 years of money in one deal in 8 months. So that's the next level. And there's levels to this game. And so that's my encouragement. Then I did one deal. I was like, that's my aha moment. I can double my money in real estate. What's up, guys? Everybody keeps asking my comments, my DMs. I need help. I want to get in the game. Our team and I will help you out. Just shoot us a text message, 360-216-0323. We're going to answer every question you have, development, construction, wholesale, anything that you need. 360-216-0323. Let's get back to the video. Went and picked up 3 more houses. Doubled my money on all 3 of those houses. Was crazy. I was working a full-time job at that time. Then I went and did 6 more houses. Now that my side income from these houses was producing more than my job, I decided, well, I don't need to be there. I was at my job for the experience. I was working for a developer. I was learning from him. I was learning commercial real estate, multifamily, residential. And so for me, I was at my job for education. And so that brings me to my last point. The only reason I would ever trade my time for money is for education. If you can get into a position where you can learn from somebody while getting paid, it's like you're going to college, but getting a paycheck for college. And so I would say even if you get a paycheck for that job as your education, because you want to learn an industry, still be active and do something. Whatever that looks like, if it's gonna be something in flipping, or if you're you're doing sales on the side on the weekends or evenings, always have that ability to produce, and whatever effort you put in, you get rewarded for it. That is the best place to be. So education plus sales experience is everything. In our case, we have a mentorship. We teach people, okay, this is where you're at. Here's the steps that I would take for you to get to that first house. Or real estate wholesaling is one of those abilities to where if you're young and you want to get into the game, you're not actually in real estate. When I say wholesaling, I have a ton of content on how to wholesale, what it is, how I do it. But really all you're doing is you're selling paper. So you have an agreement with a property owner, you're selling that paper for a dollar amount. You're getting 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. The better you are at wholesaling, the more money you make. So see, you're getting rewarded. Somebody that has little experience might make 1 to 5K per deal where they sell the paper to an investor. Someone like me, I've done up to 150,000 for one deal. So again, guys, love and appreciate you. I love the support that we get. I have seen so much traction on my stories. I'm gonna continue to dive into my story and give you different perspectives on what I'm doing. So that is all for today. If you have any questions or comments, do that below. Like, share, subscribe, and looking forward to seeing you next time.